Well, how's it going, everybody? Yukon here. I'm here at the beginning of the Tunk Mountain trail. If I understand it right, it's 1.5 miles one way. So I'm not going to do this hidden pond loop. I think that's that. It's a little bit confusing how they did this. But I'll know when I get here. I should be here within 3/4 of a mile or so. You know, I can kind of tell if this is right about that. When I get to this loop trail, I'll just bypass, boop, and then this will be mainly climb here, I think. Anyway, I stayed at the same site again last night, and I'll probably go ahead and go back there again tonight, because this will take a couple hours, and then I'll come back. And we'll see. I got my solar, see how this works. I need every little bit of juice I can get, especially if I want to have any service tonight. That camp does not have it, or it's very sporadic. There'll be a few messages come through about like it may be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours. You'll hear a message come through. Starlink, it's real good right there. I've got, I guess, a perfect setup, because that's about as fast as I've ever seen it work. There's pretty much no time delay. You click on something and there it is. Some of these places it struggles. If you can't see the sky good, because the leaves or clouds or whatever, it does affect it. At least the mini. I don't know about the bigger ones. I would imagine that bigger one, they probably really good now once you get it, you know, zoned in. I should have took a picture of that map. Here I am off now. Is that better? Going slightly downhill here. Tunk Mountain Trail. Junction with the Ponds Trail, 0.5. Summit Ridge, 1.5. So we'll see how accurate that is. I think that's about right. Seems like all trails. Seems like it was 3.1 or 2 or something like that. Anyway, I'll make more video. I'll get on up here. Well, I understand that this is like a smaller version of Cadillac Mountain with some lakes thrown in. All right. Hey everybody, here we are on some boardwalks here and bridges they've built. This is not far from the parking lot. Thought this was a little different. Huh. Oh wow. Look at that little stream. Wow, look at that, how it's like made its own little groove in here. This is some of this is the result of beaver dams. They'll build a dam, builds it up, and the settlements, this can go on for decades, for generations of beaver, for real. It's crazy. And then you know, the dam's gone, but the creek's carved back through that and left the land, the new soil. I'm a little bit worn out from yesterday, to be honest. I didn't sleep good. Too much gym. Here comes somebody. Hey everybody, check out these massive boulders. See here, there, out through there some. I just come by there, but check this one out. I mean, that is a monster. You can see my backpack and hiking poles. And something I just noticed, see, there are more of them down in there. Well, they've tumbled off the side over the There's several more up in there over the, you know, thousands of years. But look what a perfect, I mean, if survival shelter, if you find one that's any better, you know, ready-made. See all them dry leaves? You pack them right up in there and build you a small fire right in here where the leaves would used to be, and you're gonna survive a pretty cold night, even without any protection. Leaves insulate good, especially when you pack them. So you just fill that to the ceiling. Every one of them you could get, including some of these out here. That's pretty dry. Nice overhang. That's a big ass boulder. Look at that thing. There's more. I mean, they're all over. Look at that. The I never remember the name of it. Yeah, Mount Katahdin, the Cathedral Trail. The base of it is like this, big boulders, except even worse. And you gotta climb up over some of them boulders just to get, you know, just to get started on the mountain. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. You gotta jump from like boulder to boulder in a few spots and climb over, and you know, you only got like 2 or 3 steps, and you got to jump and then stop. Pretty cool. The forest is really cool here too. Sprinkling rain. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. Now everybody, check this out. It's like 3 big boulders. That one right there ain't even touching the ground. It's suspended between these 2 other big ones. People have been walking back here to check it out and probably use the bathroom and stuff. Wow, that is just so neat. They're everywhere in here. Massive boulders. That's the way it was 35,000 years ago. The ice was a mile thick here. So there's 5,000 feet plus of solid ice. And the weight of it, it moves stuff around like this, like a little pebble. It's nothing. And that's why, see how that's pointed down? You'll find places along the bedrock, it'll have a big scratch, and right there you go. It's something similar to that. The ice moving and it's pushing and carrying these big boulders, and it scars down into the bedrock, plus the weight of all that ice on top of it. So that's over thousands and thousands of years. And then as they melted down, depending on, you know, how fast they melted, all kinds of what types of debris they had in them, and everything, the way they're angled to the sun would dictate whether it piled up big piles or it spread stuff out over miles and miles. I know some places they piled up big, like a dam, you know, going for maybe 100 years or 200, 300 years. There's a place, there's Idaho, where the glacier was melting, and as it melted, it would retreat. It would push south, but it would get retreated back by the heat, and it left a great big giant wall that formed a big dam, and then filled with water, and then eventually broke, and that went down the Snake River Canyon area of Idaho. Massive flood, one of the biggest floods, you know, in the world as far as actual scientific evidence of it. It may have flown like that for months when the dam broke, at least a few weeks. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. Beautiful place, and so far not bad at all. The climate has just been a little bit of climb, mainly level, but I'm sure there's going to be some climb. That last mile is where it'll be. Anyway, yabbity yabbity, everybody. Check out that lake, everybody. I think that's the Lost Pond. I think That is the Lost Pond Loop Trail. Or the Hidden Pond, excuse me. Holy cow. I don't see any moose. Awesomeness. Wow. I think I'm getting ready to start doing some more serious climbing. Wow. A lot of mosquitoes out. Alright, I'm gonna head on. Wow. Look here, everybody. You see this a lot up here too. Look at that. It's not tied up or nothing. Be a bitch getting it in the damn lake from here though. Full canoe. Yeah, usually they'll be a little closer. Hadn't had some repair work done to it. They'll be a little closer to the lake than that. Yeah, it'd be tough getting that thing in and out of there. Anyway, moving on. And here's another lake, everybody. Just like 1/10 of a mile. The other lake's like right down in there. Look at them big cliffs on the other side. You know they've been, I see a beaver or something now. He's down at the bottom of that cliff to the right. A beaver, a duck or something. Wow. I think that's the actual mountain back there. So I'll be doing some climbing here in a minute. Anyway, I'm heading on. Check it out, everybody. I think I'm approximately halfway there. But look at that son of a bitch. It's fixed to go straight up the side. A lot of them do that around here. Looks like it goes up the side, hits the ridge, and takes a right. Man. I'm getting ready to do some sweating. Right here's the best view I've seen yet, by far. I'm not at the summit, but I should be getting close. Wow. Look at all the lakes and stuff. Ooh, I see big rain back to the right. Big rain. That's not coming this way. Some of that blue's what's coming my way. Wow. Wow, look at this. There's the cut for the road. I'm like, I don't know, to be honest. I'm somewhere over in there. Over those mountains back in here, back in there somewhere, and that lake's down in there. Look at that. I see some windmills. Yeah, there's a whole windmill farm out in the distance. Wow. I hope you guys are having a good one. I'll make more video and get on up. All right, everybody. This trail's getting Katahdin style here. Look at the iron bars there. Whew. Man. I think I'm almost there. See, look at that. Wow. Gosh, this is hard on an old man. Ah, wow. Wow, it's starting to clear out nicely. I'll make another video on up. All right, everybody, I think I'm at the end of the trail here. This is called the north face of Tunk Mountain. What a view. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this little bitchy. Oh, wow. Oh, God, breeze feels amazing. Oh, Gosh, it's almost too cold. I've been sweating. What a wind farm out there. Look at that thing. Let's see. Yeah, Katahdin. Well, I mean, it has to about be. It just about has to be visible from here, but on a very, very clear day. Oh gosh, look at that big storm over there. Golly, the wind is just, you can see that lake down there, that real marshy area. That's moose paradise. I see several out through there actually. That one's kind of got some development going. Wow, almost snap a picture or two and get out of this wind. It feels good, almost too chilly. Man, I'm glad I'm not getting hit by that. I hope you guys are having a good one. Shoot on, turn around and head back. Well, I guess it is an either or. There's blue blazes both ways here. So I'm gonna climb this. Look at that. Again, the camera's pretty much level. That's weird because they never blue blaze this again. Arr. Arr. Steep. Yeah, look at this crack. Wow. All the way through the mountain. Well, it ends there in that moss. Or no, it don't either. It goes right. Wow. That eventually water, roots will get down in that, which they have been, and in the winter it'll freeze and water expands approximately 10% when it turns into ice. When it freezes, and that will push, that'll start pushing that crack apart. Then tree roots growing in it, they grow, that'll help. But eventually gravity will take a big, it may be thousands of years from now, hundreds of years anyway, could be hundreds of thousands. But yeah, this is neat, really neat. Anyway, I'm gonna get head back down. Hey everybody, I would assume that this is what's considered the summit right here. There's nothing really any higher, and the north face is like roughly the same elevation. It just juts out the other side. This kind of faces the southeast, and yes, way out there, like in the middle, that's the ocean, no doubt about it. Wow. Yeah, you can see it back this direction too. Now Acadia trail gets a little confusing in here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Acadia Park is back in there. If you look close, that's Cadillac Mountain, the big one in the middle, not the right here on back. You can see water in between. That's actually on that Mount Desert Island. That whole thing. Look what a view, everybody. Wow, the weather really, it really went my way today. I was gonna come up here a lot earlier, but it's way cloudier. It's getting a little bit of sun, but it was mostly cloudy this morning. Now it's, at least it's, you know, half and half. What a view. You know, the sunrise here would be magnificent too. Wow. All them lakes and stuff down in there. Wow. The sunset would be good from the north face. So this one you could catch both. If I see a bird, see his shadow. Wow. All right, I better get going. Hope you guys are having a good one. Yeah, the trail kind of goes down that way, and then it switches back. It's tough. I mean, those are those lakes I was on down there. Yeah. that's yeah, it's mean. It was meaner than Cadillac in a lot of places. Hell, I started like at 3:30, and it's 6 o'clock. You know, I don't know what's going on there, but I better get the hell off this mountain. All right, hope you guys are having a good one. For the trail, everybody, I am going to point the camera down some so that you can actually see it. We're down sloping here. See my shadow? Wow. Of course, there's our view. Just look how remote. Let's see, Winterport. Winterport would be back in there, probably hidden. So I rode over in there somewhere, all up through there last summer. Wow, all the way out to the Quaddy Head, way out there. Huh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, there's a sign down here that says something. There's a view there. Can't remember the name of it. It starts with an M, but then it says west or north face 0.2, and it's all up from there to here. I mean, it's mean. This is tough. You know, going up, you're climbing up towards the sun there, for real. Alright, you guys are having a good one. Everybody, this is Tunk Mountain Trail. It's the Monument Vista, and the northern overlook's 0.2. That's it's mean on down in here too. There's 2 more sets of what I'd call meanness, but I'll take you down here. Probably the last video. Might make one down there on the lake again. That lake's down there, dude. I mean, this thing gets elevation big time. So I thought, hell, I'll come down here on the way back. And I assume this is like it. This really ain't anything too special as far as what we've already seen. Yeah. There's a plaque there. Let's see what the plaque says. A Maine legacy. So this fella here, Harold Pierce, when he passed away, the family gave this to the state of Maine. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I guess a lot of the surrounding lakes and stuff. Maybe, I guess what is now the park, the state lands. That's badass. That would be something he'll be remembered for, you know, who knows, decades, possibly hundreds of years into the future. All right, everybody, I'm gonna get going. I gotta go back up this now. That rebar, this is one of the places where the trail sticks are a hindrance. Yeah. Gotta commit. Gosh darn, look at that shit. So yeah, it's really not the place for kids and dogs and stuff. Whew, man. Little kids anyway, too tough for them. And there'll be a lot of dogs that struggle on some of this stuff. Anyway, heading on down. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm back here at the same place I've been the last couple of nights, and I am wore out. It was 4.2 miles, and I didn't catch the elevation gain yet. Not getting service, but I should have in the barn. Make a relive video. But man, I'm wore out. I've got a big yellow potato, a big sweet potato, and 2 ears of corn. And I've got some butter in a bottle. And I got some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna cook them up. And yeah, I know there's a lot of carbs in there. Yeah, So I hadn't ate good today. So I'm gonna get them started here in a minute. I'll start the potatoes first and cook them for like about 10-15 minutes, 20 minutes on each side. And then I'll throw the corn on, cook them all some more. I gotta feel the potatoes, they'll get squishy. You want them to be fairly squishy, you know, and it's hard to do when they're hot, or get real hot. But if they feel real firm, they're not done. Their skin will give, and you want it to give pretty good because the center will be won't be cooked. But you can cook them a while and let them set off to the side, and they'll keep cooking. You know, you don't want to get them too hot. Anyway, blabbity blabbity. I hope you guys had a great day. It's just a fascinating. Some of the views up there are amazing. That dude is as tough as Cadillac, for real. It really is. It is tough. Cadillac's a little further climb, but this was a tougher. The actual climb was Cadillac was, you know, spread out more. It had some tough parts, but nothing that lasted like that. Man, that got rough, brutal. And coming back down too, when you've got to stretch and pull and hold on, you're working all your muscles. So I was sweating going up and coming back. I think that's my problem last night. I didn't drink enough water yesterday. I could just kind of tell. Anyways, I'm gonna have me a shot of whiskey and probably smoke me a bowl or two, and then I'm gonna eat these potatoes and corn and all that good stuff. Anyway, I'll make another video tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good night. And this is Yukon over and out.